Thank you for joining me for UBC Lunchtime News on this Wednesday, the 26th of March, 2025. I'm Maureen Babidia. On to our first story. A heavy downpour has left traffic paralyzed across Kampala city and its metropolitan areas, with major roads submerged and severe congestion reported. Ginger Road was among the worst affected, with flooding at the Kitcombe House Junction, causing a massive traffic jam. Similar gridlock was observed in Bwaise and Kalerwe along Bombo and Gayaza roads, with cars bumper to bumper. The rains, which began around 5 a.m., turned the Bwaise drainage channel into a fast-flowing river, while the Luigi wetland and its surroundings resembled a lake. Other affected areas include Banda, Chambogo, Chebando, Mukwano Road, Namasuba, Ginger Road, the industrial area, and parts of the northern bypass. We have more.
Chiriwa amazi wanera amazi gatusukira amazi government tuyambe etuwo buyambe gogole myala kesisi ekoro mulimo gwayo kubanga ekiriwa no kirara government tuyambe kesisi yetereze kubanga ekiriwa no kirara amazi gafukira amazi myala tubaji gogole wansi yona bagogora amazi gafunewe gayi.
Toyina kunyiga muliro. Tufunayo omuntu awonye.
Our sympathies to all Ugandans inconvenienced and affected by the rains today. Now, the Office of the Prime Minister has donated food supplies to the victims of the Nyamwamba River floods, currently sheltered at the Muhocha temporary camp in Kasese district. The relief aid follows repeated pleas from the affected families who have gone without government assistance since December last year. Take a look.
Mustafa Kikusa from the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer for Kasese District confirmed the receipt of the consignment and expressed gratitude to the government for its continued support.
We received 20,000 kilograms of posho, that is cassava, that is maize flour. Then we received 10,000 kilograms of beans. And a part of this delivery will also go to vulnerable households where we have people living with disabilities.
He, however, urged the government to fast-track efforts towards a permanent resettlement solution for the displaced families.
We don't have any way to go, but it is the Office of the Prime Minister that is solely responsible to having these people resettled to a better place. We have put recommendations, for example, of giving them money than looking for them land.
Ariema Rehema, the General Secretary for Muhocha IDP camp, raised concerns over the persistent health challenges in the camp, which have led to the loss of some members.
Today we lost a man, an old man. He was around 62 years. He died. One, he didn't know what is happening, but he was like, for me, I'm not going in the what? In the toilet. I'm eating, but I'm not going in the toilet. He didn't knew that maybe within the intestines, it has burst inside. So whatever.
Fatima Chisembo, one of the flood victims, said that the food supplies arrived at a critical time when the condition in the camp had worsened.
Tweyiya bweyiya shonkati ninsima ruhanga alhamdulillah emerize ninsima no Office of the Prime Minister.
President Museveni has reaffirmed the government's commitment to addressing gender equality gaps. In a speech delivered on his behalf by the third Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Isanga Nakadama, President Museveni highlighted the need to empower women and promote equal opportunities. The event celebrated the achievements of women, provided a platform for prominent figures to share their experiences, and facilitated discussions on overcoming challenges in the pursuit of gender equality. Our reporter Saddam has the details.
The NRM introduced the policy of positive discrimination through affirmative action to enable the women to catch up with men in their political, social, and economic involvement in the affairs of the community. Today, women are fully represented at all levels of governance and decision-making.
There's a lot of talk about feminism, women's participation, and packaged as if women must take up arms to fight men in order to occupy our rightful places in society. But women, my fellow women, we are the ones who raise the men whom we call monsters and later take up arms to fight. We are the ones who raise the monsters who beat women, who abuse women. So we have to raise boys to respect women, to honor women, and to treat people as humans.
So really that is the celebration. That's why we join with women, because we are here to make life easier for the women by making interventions in their day-to-day. routines.
Now women have businesses in Uganda. Women, we have TikTokers, we have comedians in Uganda. Please keep on doing it. Don't stop. What a man can do, you can do.
Staircase here, this way or that way.
Not to. Now, the chairman of the Uganda Kings and Culture Leaders Forum, His Majesty Isabaruli Mwogezi Butamanya, has urged the Lango community to prioritize the preservation of their culture and heritage. Speaking during his visit to the Lango Culture Institution, Isabaruli emphasized the need to resist excessive foreign influences and protect traditional practices.
The Lango Cultural Institution, led by Paramount Chief Dr. Engineer Moses Michael Odonkune, hosted His Majesty Isabaruli Mwogezi Butamanya as part of his nationwide tour. A major highlight of the visit was the signing of a landmark Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the Lango Cultural Institution and the Global Peace Foundation, which focuses on strengthening families and fostering national unity.
And so we are saying for Uganda to start to achieve socio-economic transformation, the role of kingdoms must be rejuvenated, must be given opportunity to be strengthened, to walk the talk of reawakening the families.
Let us go back down and we build a database at every village. At every village, we put 10 homes together.
During the event, His Majesty reiterated the importance of cultural preservation, economic progress and political engagement as a key pillar for Lango's community development.
Another issue is politically. I'm urging all Langoese to participate in political positions. Because these days, if each and every thing has to do with political push. So I pray all Langoese to join any kind of sector whereby you are chosen to be as a chairman or vice chairman. Let me give you an example.
The Paramount Chief, Lango Cultural Institution, Dr. Engineer Michael Odonkune, called on the Lango people to come together to address social and economic challenges, stressing that unity is the foundation of success.
We are also having the problem of poverty, of which we are fighting against. I'm sure you are doing it there. We're having problems of domestic violence here. I'm sure you're also having and you are fighting against. So it's only natural that we should stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and fight so that our people live together.
His Majesty Isabaruli Mwogezi Butamanya's visit is part of his nationwide engagement with Uganda's 17 Gazette cultural leaders. These discussions aim to create partnerships for socio-economic transformation in collaboration with international development partners such as the Global Peace Initiative and Family Peace Association. Eddie Ulwa, UBC News.
Thank you, Eddie Olwa, for that report. Now, Hoima District Chairperson Uthman Mugisa has called on the government to introduce a special program dedicated to improving district roads. The government, with funding from the World Bank, has been implementing the Uganda Support for Municipal Infrastructure Development project in various cities and municipalities across the country. However, Mugisa noted that while each district receives 1 billion shillings annually from the Uganda Road Fund for road maintenance, districts have not benefited as significantly as cities and municipalities from such development initiatives. Meanwhile, Margaret Businge, a resident of the Hanga village, highlighted the ongoing challenge of insufficient water sources in the area, calling for urgent intervention. Take a look.
We have managed to work on a number of feeder roads in the district. Actually, I would say we have worked on almost 70% of our feeder roads in their period of 14 months. We have worked on also a number of community access roads. We have gone ahead sometimes to use our personal fuel to be able to work on these community access roads due to the challenge of underfunding of the lower local government councils. So sometimes it has called us to now sacrifice what we have to see to that our people get the best. We have also gone ahead to lobby for iron sheets for the different schools in Hoima. An example is Kasomoro, is Kakindo, is Bulindi, is High Valley Primary School. A number of challenges, mostly is in regard as a district. We only receive 1 billion for the road fund as a district, but as a district, we are not benefiting so much from some opportunities that the cities do have, for example, in Smith. So we anticipate if a government comes up with a program from which the districts can also benefit, mostly pertaining in terms of roads, it would really boost the accessibility within the district. Secondly is we have faced a challenge of low budget or underfunding of the lower local government councils, because some of the roads that are in very critical conditions are community access roads. Quite a number of them are in a very sorry state, which has now made us as leaders sometimes to sacrifice our own finances to sit with that we rehabilitated these roads. So it's a big challenge that we request the government to look into and sit with that funding of the lower local government councils.
The president's idea of 1 billion was really what is worth celebrating. I want to appreciate that if an opportunity arises where we can increase that money from 1 billion to any additional amount, that idea is also welcome, because it will really help us do much.
We'll now take a break and return shortly with business updates.
Come on, mo pocket, tambula body street, shoes are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission, internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netagayo kaloni, nigga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Nebaza President Museveni okusingira ddala eyaleeta omwoga, kubanga ffe omwoga twali tetugutegeera, okubanga yatuyamba mu mbeera embi gye twalimu, naddala ffe abavubi, kubanga ffe twali baatugaana okukola okugenda ku mazzi. Nga bw'omanyi abavubi batugamba nti ennyanja tesenguka, ssente tezaatumala mu COVID, baasanga tuli bakalu bulungi. Naye muzeeyi n'alagira batuwe, era ne tukola essaako mu sipiidi, ne tuteekamu ssente, ne batuteekamu ssente. Baatuwa miliyoni 3 zaatuukira mu budde, ate twali bamaze okutukkiriza ffe abatunda ebyokulya okuddamu okukola ki? Okukola. Ne tuziwola abantu ne basuubula ebyennyanja, ne bakola, ne bazizza, ne tuwa abalala, nabo ne bakola, ne bazizza. Ne tukolera ddala bulungi. Mu bammemba okutandikira ddala twali bammemba 125. Kati ng'essente ezo miliyoni 3 tetusobola zigabira abantu mulundi gumu. Twagendanga tulondamu abayinamu sevingi waabwe awera. Nga na bano bwe bagenda bakula sevingi waabwe nga bwakula, kati bwe wazzanga era nga tukuddiza akakadde ezoleese nga tuza amagoba tuwa bano abalala abaali bataafuna. Ne tukolera ddala bulungi ku miliyoni 3 amagoba tuli mu bukadde 100. Abantu bano balabanga abamu abaana abato naye balina famire zaabwe, balina abaana be balabirira, balina bazadde baabwe. Era kati olwaleero bwe ntunuulira abasuubuzi bange balina kye beeyongeddeko kinene. Kati olwaleero ensawo nsanyufu, abaana basoma, famire zaabwe bazirabirira ne bazadde baabwe. Nange abakulembera ndabawo enjawulo ku bantu bange, era nkubiriza abalala bammemba abalala abatannayingira bajje nabo babeere bulungi basobole okwekulaakulanya. Enkulaakulana ya buli muntu, tetusosola, tetuteekamu byabufuzi, tetuteekamu kkala, jangu nga bw'oli ng'ozze kkola. Emyoga nze ginkoze bulungi era nali sirina, naye kaakati ndi bulungi, sobola okusuubula ebyennyanja ne nteekawo abaana ne batunda ne nfuna amagoba. Ebyennyanja bino tuyina abakozi ba mirundi ng'ena. Bwe bimala okuva mu mazzi ne bituuka wano ku mmeeza, tuyina gye tukubikolokotera. Oyo n'akolokota n'akyoza bulungi n'akikwasa ow'effumbiro. Weffumbiro bw'oba oyagala akabeero ne batematema ne bateekamu obummonde n'amatooke ne bakuwa ne bakuteera ku lusiniya. Bw'oba oyagala kisiike era mu ffumbiro ne bakisiika ne bakireeta. Omwana oli afuna ssente, kyembaga sente z'emyoga tezaaliisa mudaala guno gwokka. Omwana oli akolokota yafunangako, n'ali mu ffumbiro akifumba naye n'afunako, ne nannyini kifo naye n'afunako, n'ow'omudaala n'afunako. Abo bantu ababa bayimiridde ku ssente ze tuwadde mmemba omu ziwanirira abantu bangi, famire nnyingi, kubanga omwana oli akolokota si mwana muto, musajja mukulu alina omukazi alina n'abaana. Omukyala ali mu ffumbiro asiika oba omuvubuka asiika naye alina omukazi n'abaana, naye bonna bali ku kakadde k'ennawoono.
Nze basooka kumpa miliyoni 1 and then bwe namaliza nenzirayo ne bampaayo looni endala era nayo nenkola. Sofa kati kye naakafunawo nayongerako ku bizinensi yange kuba luli nalinga nkozesa $5,000 nga sinaba kujoyininga myoga, ate nga n'ezimu tuzeewula weeweza okuva mu bubiina okuva kale mu bamanelinda. Kati nsobola okubeera nga nkozesa miliyoni 1.5. Kitegeeza neeyongerako ku nfuna yange ate n'ekitaaliwo luli. Sofa kati emyoga bwe jajja jakuliyetingawo kaluca y'okubeera nga tusevinga nga ffe bammemba ne mu bavubuka, ate n'okubeera nga tukola ne tubeera nga tufuna ssente tusevinga nga bwe tukola ate nga bwe tusasula looni bw'oba nga weewola looni mu myoga. N'ebirala ebyenfunyemu nga nze sofa kati natandika kukubeera nga nsasula kataka kange. Ekyo kirungi nnyo, kyansanyusa nnyo, naye nga nsasula mu kibanja mpola. Nsuubira mu mwaka ogujja nja kukamalayo. Kyekyo kye neenyumirizaamu, ate nga ne muzeeyi atukubiriza nnyo kubeera nga tusevinga. Tujja kukulaakulanya eggwanga n'ekonomi kubanga batusomesa nnyo mu myoga tubeere nga tulina saving culture eyo. Kitegeeza abantu bwe basevinga ennyo bajja kubeera nga bafuna saving. Bw'osevinga n'ofuna ssente you invest. Kitegeeza tujja kubeera nga tufuna balo ku investor tuve ku bayindi. Kijja kuba kitukoledde.
Street issues are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission. Internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netagayo kaloni, niga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Welcome back. You're still watching UBC Lunchtime News with me, Maureen Babidie. And on to our first business report. The Uganda Development Corporation is working to revive the salt factory in Kasese district, with Rwenzori's Shining Stars Limited showing interest in the project. Dennis Dokoria, Manager of Communications, UDC, says that the restoration will create jobs and services. Miners, however, are concerned that salt extraction has exceeded the lake's capacity and are seeking support for protective gear to prevent harm from the high salt concentration. Ivan Kahwa reports.
Kasese Salt Lake is found within Queen Elizabeth National Park in Kasese district. It is a crater lake that has inlets but without outlets, causing high evaporation and salt concentration, and was formed through volcanic activity thousands of years ago.
Whenever we stand here up to 700 meters deep on the cross section, they are only rocks of salt, and there is an impermeable rock which does not allow water to penetrate through.
The main activity here is salt mining, which is harvested through traditional methods from salt pans, which in simple understanding are plots of water.
Most of us who own salt pans, we've acquired these salt pans from our parents. But the cost of buying a plot, the cost is between 7 million now to over 30 million.
3 various types of salt are extracted from this lake, and these include
grade 1 salt for human consumption, grade 2 salt for livestock, and then we have grade 3 for industrial.
The traditional methods expose miners to highly concentrated salt, which leads to skin burns and infections.
Yeah,
and also we encourage them to drink a lot. Water, juice, but not this time not alcohol.
Nensala mungu omukyala nenvayo nengamba bakyala bino byokukola mu mining bigenda tukosa nnyo ng'abakyala bwe tweyiya.
Despite the physical challenges associated with the activity, locals are able to earn a livelihood.
Nfunyemu piki, ninamu abaana, nagula poloti, eri Kasese naye teri eno.
It's where we get money for school fees. We tufunako bu lipstick obutubeesawo ng'abakyala, energetic women, naffe ne tulabikako bulungi.
There is worry that the extraction of salt is superseding the capacity of the lake, calling for the utilization of other 6 salt lakes in the region.
But some of them, they are within the protected area. So we have no access. We have no access to those lakes.
Once the salt is harvested and washed with a solution to refine the final product, it reaches the market unbranded due to the miners' lack of processing technology.
Market. We need to market the product that we have. Our salt is good, but we've not minded in marketing. The government has not minded in marketing this product.
Oshiraba, even the packages you can see, we are using NOM as a weighing machine or a packing something to pack our salt.
And I'm very sure that if we are able to start producing our salt, good quality salt, we shall sell effectively in this country. And not only in this country, we also have what we call the regional integrations. We have a regional market.
The salt factory has been there for many years. It was constructed during the time of Obote, then it was commissioned during the time of Amini, but the factory has been there. So the government has not picked any interest in working on it.
We've had some progress. We've had quite a number of probable investors, but currently we have one. We're still working out the processes to get to the stage where we can fully invest and we start working together. The minerals are there, the salt is there, but the question is, how do we work? Who do we work with? UDC is open, and we are willing to work with whichever investor comes on board and has interest in investing in some of these areas.
So, Women are the majority of the sellers of this product in Lake Katwe, but also highlight key recommendations to support their efforts.
Nungi mba njagala kintu nga kiri classical lusi batuzimbire ng'ekibanda naye president mba musaba anyongeremu energy esobola okumboosteringa nesobola okukola ki okufuna capital emalako kwa wano batuwa n'emyo gundi parish model yali yakusosola n'abalala tebafunanga n'essaawa
The 2019 Board of Survey decided to auction off the machines that had become eroded and obsolete due to the factory's inactivity. However, the Uganda Development Corporation remains committed to ensuring the factory's revival. Ivan Kahwa and Andrew Sebida in Kasese district.
Thank you, Ivan and Sebida. Now, in an effort to enhance local technical skills, the East African Crude Oil Pipeline ECOP Limited, in partnership with Panyu Chu Kong Steel Pipe Company Limited and Avanti Energy Services, has introduced specialized orbital welding training in Uganda. The 3-week program conducted at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute aimed to equip local technicians with the expertise required for precision welding in the ECOP pipeline project. Given that Uganda previously lacked orbital welding machines for training, PCK and Avanti provided advanced equipment and brought in an expert trainer from Canada to lead the sessions. Participants underwent both theoretical instruction and hands-on practice, focusing on automated welding techniques critical to the pipeline's construction. This initiative aligns with broader efforts to transfer technology and build local capacity within Uganda's workforce. As part of the program, 2 trainees have been selected for additional work experience at PCK's facility in China. Meanwhile, other institutions continue to receive training in health, safety and environmental standards, as well as pipeline maintenance. In our international stories, the World Food Programme has said a forecast drought in the next crop cycle is set to push an additional 1 million people in Somalia into hunger in the coming months. Details follow.
1 million more people in Somalia could face crisis levels of hunger in the coming months, the World Food Programme warned on Tuesday. That's due to a drought forecast for the next crop cycle. The WFP's Director for Food Security, Jonathan Bauer, said that in the next few months, 4.4 million people will be facing acute food insecurity in Somalia, up from 3.4 million.
So the situation could get worse for both of those reasons, the weather forecast, the funding cuts, and in addition to everything that's going on in Somalia, which includes relatively high food prices and also conflict.
In 2022, the Horn of Africa saw its driest conditions in over 40 years. As many as 43,000 people died as a result, according to one study. After 2 failed seasons, below-average rains are again forecast between April and June 2025.
We're fearing that with the weather forecast, we'll have another failed season starting just in a few weeks. So we need to be prepared for that. And indeed, we're going to need to mobilize more resources. $297 million is a significant amount, and it's what's needed to support the most vulnerable people in Somalia.
Bauer said the WFP has already had to cut its assistance programs and is now helping some 820,000 people compared to 2.2 million in 2022. Hunger hits children hardest, and the WFP said that 1.7 million children under 5 are projected to face acute malnutrition through to December 2025.
In more news, 3 years into the Russian invasion, many Ukrainian refugees have put down roots in the EU, but some worry they could be forced to return home if a peace agreement is reached. As one mother living in the Czech Republic says, "I need to earn more to ensure her son grows up in a safe environment." Take a look.
Досвід мене, мого сина, що Прага нас зустріла з любов'ю. моє було повністю розірване, покраєне на шматки, але я продовжувала працювати нон-стоп, бо інакше я просто б не вижила. Це вторгнення і величезний страх втратити другу дитину, втратити мого сина. Тобто це пульсувало в моїй голові найбільше. Хотіла, щоб він зростав в спокійному і позитивно налагодженому середовищі.
I don't know how many Ukrainian refugees can afford it. If only one mom works, 2 old parents and 3 kids, it's just impossible.
And that brings us to the very end of this afternoon's bulletin. Stay tuned for more news to come at 7, 8 and 10 p.m. I'm Maureen Babidia. From me and the crew, we'd like to wish you a good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
We're going to be talking about farming, but it's not me that's going to do that.
My name is Hava K. Luanga.
My name is Larry Charles K.
Let's go!
Mixed farm is a type of farming that involves growing crops and raising livestock. This is the spice garden and for the vegetables.
My first favorite spice has to be black pepper.
What's black pepper in Uganda?
Kamulali or mudagavu.
What? We're going to talk about the sechunga. We're going to see how big it is, as big as Larry's head. And then we're going to talk about the mangada. So we're going to get there. We have still so many farms to visit. And I would like to hear from you. This is the Little Farmer Show, and we are bringing coolness back to farming. See you!
My name is Damali Sali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host Stephen Kakoza, who is the founder of KAU, and he's going to tell us all about it. Stephen, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Damari. Nice to be here.
Thank you.
It feels really good.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us about KAU. What is it?
Okay. So KAU, if you've been in boarding school, you surely must be knowing what KAU is. You know, KAU is that period, when you're out of pocket money, you're out of grab.